It's the final week of Pac-12 beach volleyball. But the undefeated, top-ranked USC Trojans are already in playoff mode. USC versus Long Beach State next. It's a beautiful day in Southern California. A great day to get your toes in the sand and watch beach volleyball on Pac-12 Network. A top 5 matchup on tap. Long Beach State versus the top-ranked USC Trojans. Taking a look at the strength of these two teams, Holly McPeak, you can really get a sense of how elite these programs are.
All the pairs from each school are used to winning. Very few losses in their columns. This is going to be a fantastic matchup today.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson alongside 3-time beach volleyball Olympian Holly McPeak. And so, Holly, we know they're strong programs. What specifically should we keep our eye on today?
Depth at every pair position for USC and Long Beach State. They have a strong contender. So I think we're going to see tight action on all the courts. And when SC plays people, you don't usually see that. It's going to be very competitive.
Meanwhile, USC has the top pair in collegiate volleyball, and they finally proved they are human. Clays and Hughes lost a match for the first time in 2 years. How have they responded?
Small bump in the road. Sometimes you get better. The pressure is off. They have things they can focus on. One, their loss came during a very windy day, so they can improve their setting in the wind. I think it's a good opportunity to improve.
Clays and Hughes won 103 straight before that loss. They rebounded the other day with a win over Stanford, and afterward told us they're looking forward to the match against Long Beach State.
We're really excited to play them. We actually haven't played them yet this season, so we have to prepare ourselves, get into, we're going to go watch some film, but mostly we're just going to take care of our side of the court. That's what we've been doing all season.
I think it's a big momentum piece for us. I think all of us want to go out there and play our best, and I think this is going to get us all rolling into the Pac-12s, and I think it's going to be really good for us.
Yay!
Thank you.
Good?
We good?
Yes, they are very good. USC has won 56 consecutive duels dating back to last year. Long Beach State looking to finish regular season strong.
You're watching Pac-12 Crave.
Stadium, Pac-12 beach volleyball about to get underway. A top 5 matchup, Long Beach State versus USC. This is the final week of regular season play before these teams go into their conference tournaments, trying to make the NCAA. USC locked to be in. We're going to start our action with the 4 and 5 players playing consecutively. We're going to take a look, starting our action on court number 1, and then we'll go visit the action on court 2 later. So on court number 1, USC's 4 pair, Joy Dennis and Abril Bustamante, will be facing Long Beach's Morea Wagner and Heather Weiss.
This is an interesting matchup. For USC, they've got so much physicality and size. Both players are big, and now they are going to be split blocking. Abril Bustamante was out with an ab injury, and now that she's back in the lineup, Joy Dennis got some defensive reps, so now they will split block.
Bustamante starts off serving. Dennis blocking at the neck, trying to go deep line, but it's out.
Morea Wagner, number 22, feeling the presence of Joy Dennis at the net. She's a big block. You got to go up and over, but you have to keep it in the court.
Tough serve from Abril Bustamante. SC up 2-0. Holly, take us through the rules of the duel.
5 matches of pairs. The first team to win 3 of those matches wins the duel. The first fight, as we said before, pairs 4 and 5 matchup. The second fight, pairs 1, 2, and 3 will face off.
USC has won in dominating fashion much of their matches. They're 26-0 on the year, but Long Beach State, you pointed it out earlier, Holly, showing increased depth as we watch Morea Wagner serve.
We talked to Coach Mike Campbell. A lot of his question marks from the preseason were answered in a positive way. Last year he was battling so many injuries, but he's been pleasantly surprised by the play of his team. There you see the physicality of Joy Dennis. This is what she does best. She gets up and bangs, and if the block is not fronting her, that means right in front of the ball, she will have a field day.
Dennis serves, goes down the line after Wagner. No blocker on. Bustamante passing. Pulling off the net, going to get punished.
Both April Bustamante and Joy Dennis are very physical. They can both set, they can both play defense, and April Bustamante gets up, nobody at the net, perfect set, terminates.
Dennis out of Cypress, California. Tough serve, balls up. Good placement, Bustamante, and Dennis on two, turns it the other way.
You see the movement of the USC pair, Joy Dennis and April Bustamante. They just move so well and anticipate what the other's going to do. And that's one of the things Coach Anna Collier, the head coach at USC, really stresses, pairship, the chemistry between the two partners.
Yeah, in fact, Anna Collier even calls it twinship is the phrase she likes to use, as Dennis again serves Wagner and gets a break from the tape.
Tough float serve, just catches the tape and drops in front of Wagner. Long Beach State really struggling right now to side out. First, they need to pass better. Second, they need to beat the USC block at the net.
For those just learning the game of collegiate beach volleyball, you switch sides at multiples of 7. A nice slow walk gives your coach an opportunity to talk to you. That's when some of the coaching gets done.
And the reason why you switch sides of the net is because if there is a wind, and there usually is outdoors on the beach, both teams get the advantage of being on the good side and the bad side with the wind.
Weiss going up, big block in front of her. Dennis digs. The set was over, and Long Beach on top of it.
Nobody dropped it.
What a nice move by Bustamante. First move made by Beach.
Lots of defense being played. Deep pokey. April Bustamante runs it down and then finishes that rally with a fantastic cut shot from the right, bringing that ball sharp across the net.
On two, trying to turn it the other way. Weiss does not make it over.
USC is just being relentless, keeping the ball on Maria Wagner every time. That time Heather Weiss tried to option on two, just unsuccessfully.
Dennis's serve floats a little bit longer. You had talked about split blocking for this USC pair when Abril Bustamante first played last year for USC. Anna Collier said, look, most people see her as a blocker, but I have her as a defender. Now she has that defensive experience behind her, Holly, to come back around to split blocking. What has that year as a defender done for her game?
Well, for one thing, I think playing behind a block teaches you to be a better blocker. You get better reads on what the hitter's doing, reading the hitter's body, reading the hitter's hand, knowing where to be on the court, and it helps your presence at the net.
I'm a little knuckle there from Wagner. 6-point lead for Dennis and Bustamante. First action of this Pac-12 network broadcast. USC and Long Beach State, two programs in the top 5 in the nation. Dennis off tape. Well dug. Wagner going to get a lot of exercise against these two. High line.
Starts with a tough serve. They get a little tweak in the pass versus USC, and then Maria Wagner is able to dig that ball on the left side and go high over the line for the kill.
Wagner is one of Long Beach State's first beach-only recruits. Off the block. Dennis keeping that net close. Third time going up. Takes a swing at the tight set.
Maria Wagner outsized at the net, but does a good job getting a defensive touch on that play.
USC is just nearly unbeatable at home. Take a look at that record.
38-4 all time. Last 12 duels in a row at home. So this is a tough place to come into. and compete.
Only 4 programs in the nation have ever beaten USC, BH, Pepperdine, Long Beach State, Florida State, and Hawaii. You heard Clayton Hughes talk about this is the first meeting between these two this year. We told you we keep an eye on the 5 pairs. Hudson and Krudoff trailing Belton and Kremer of SC on the 5s.
Dennis Bustamante right now with a commanding lead, 11-4 as they sit down.
And taking a look at the big picture, we mentioned USC #1 in the nation. You take a look at the top 10. A lot of meaning in this poll as the NCAA championships are just around the corner.
It certainly is. Last year, the NCAA committee chose 3 teams from the West, 3 teams from the East, and then 2 at-large bids for teams with great records. So if you look at this ranking right here, USC, UCLA, Pepperdine, they wrap up that West. You look at the East, Florida State, LSU, Georgia State, they would wrap up the East. You look at the next 2 teams, it's Long Beach State in Hawaii. That could be those at-large bids. So lots of importance on this match.
And that means a lot for Mike Campbell and Long Beach State because last year they ended up under 500. They were a great team, but they played the top 5 teams 11 times. If you're under 500, you cannot be in the NCAA tournament.
Correct. I think Mike Campbell did a better job scheduling. Last year he had so many injuries on his roster and a tough, challenging schedule, so they didn't work in their favor.
Campbell's in his 3rd season as head coach of this program, and back to the action as Dennis serves. They keep it on Wagner, no change in strategy, and Wagner rips it.
Great swing by Maria Wagner into the sharp cross court. She and twin sister Sienna Wagner play for Long Beach State. Lots of twins in the sport.
Yeah, there are a lot of twins in this sport. I mean, you only need 2 growing up. If you've got a twin, you've got a partner.
Good point. I had a twin brother, and he was always my partner as well. So it works out.
Bustamante back to serve. Again on Wagner. And the tough serve puts Dennis in a great position at the net.
That pass is too tight to the net. Joy Dennis just patrolling the net. Anything that's tight, she's going to reach over and get for USC.
Last year, Anna Collier told us that Bustamante was too timid on her serves early in the season at Hawaii and responded, I'm just trying to keep it in. And Anna Collier, who's known for being direct, said, this is USC. We don't just keep our serves in. Go for it.
Great point. Look at this dig by April Bustamante. Lays it down, and then a deep corner shot. Long Beach State can't come up with it. Beautiful USC point.
Holly, how important is it to train exactly that move from the sand to get up and hit?
It's so important. There's nobody else who's going to get up and hit it, so you have to do it all, and that's one of the beautiful things about beach volleyball. You have to be able to perform every skill.
Anna Collier, the head coach of this USC program, is coming pretty close to a dynasty now. A 6th season as USC head coach, they won the inaugural NCAA championship last year.
I love the environment she's created at USC, and she talks about the type of athletes she recruits. She wants people who compete every day.
USC is competing strong. The 4-pair winning by 11 in the first set of action. Anna Collier helping out.
Brought to you by Infinity. Empower
Network.
Welcome back, Pac-12 Beach Volleyball. Top team in the nation, undefeated USC hosting Long Beach State, and Anna Collier has created a competitive crew here at SC.
She certainly has. She really wants competitive athletes who are willing to work hard every day and want to be the best. And you can see the support, the love. She pushes you hard, but she also loves you and supports you every minute of the day. That's important when you're a student athlete.
Yeah, and Collier says she tells the incoming freshmen, first thing you need to be competitive. But she also said she used to feel like you could coach character into people. Now she wants to recruit character, and she has the ability to do that. We return to the action on court number 1 with the 4 pairs. Joy Dennis, no one on. So smart, hits the back line.
What I liked about that play is Joy Dennis recognized the set was off the net, peeled off the net, dug the ball, and instead of cranking it because the set was a little off the net, perfect high line shot hits the back line.
And maturity, Holly, for a freshman in that situation.
She was a 4.0 student in high school, and she figures it out quickly.
Bustamante rips it.
That time that ball was set tight to the net. Heather Weiss, the blocker for Long Beach State, needs to reach over and grab that ball, not let April Bustamante hit that ball by her.
As Bustamante serves, you mentioned Joy Dennis. Anna Collier said of Dennis, she's the most prepared of any athlete ever to arrive here with Beach Experience, short of Sarah Hughes. She felt Hughes arrived with that, and now she's just reloaded with that athlete right there.
I've seen Joy Dennis hit balls like that since she was about 14. I think her maturity in terms of decision making and how to make her partners better and how to win, I think those are areas that she's really improved. But look at the altitude and the arm speed to drive that ball cross court for USC.
2 more points for Dennis and Bustamante to take set number 1. Wagner. Beautiful placement.
Maria Wagner gets her elbow up high and clears the big block of Joy Dennis. Nice high line kill.
Wagner serves Dennis. Set is not where they want it to be. Dennis makes the most of it. Another great carve, just right down the net, right down the line.
That time Heather Weiss, high line, it's got to be flat so April Bustamante can't run it down. Good execution by Long Beach State.
Would you keep serving Dennis were you in Long Beach State's situation?
Well, it depends where their defense is more comfortable. Do you want to play a hitter or a shooter? April Bustamante can hit and shoot. Joy Dennis is more of a hitter learning to shoot. So depends on the strength of your defense.
Set point on both courts right now. On the right, Joy Dennis serving. Out of the net. And SC wins on the right and on the left. Consecutive, concurrent wins, should we say, for the 4 and 5 pairs in set number 1. USC, strong start.
I like.
Second set of action coming up with the 4 and 5 pairs right after the break.
Network.
Pac-12 Beach Volleyball is brought to you by State Farm. Get to a better state. What a great day in LA for some beach volleyball. A top 5 matchup on Pac-12 Network. We're on the campus of USC inside Merle Norman Stadium. First set in the books of the first flight. SC won their 4 and 5 pairs. The first set of action. Holly, no real surprises in terms of how they played.
Well, court 1 wasn't as competitive as I expected it to be, but Joy Dennis and April Bustamante served so tough and just took Long Beach State out of their game.
On the other court, the one on the left side of your screen, the 5 pair, Janelle Hudson had to pass every ball. They clearly went after her.
Janelle Hudson's an all-conference indoor setter. Here, she's expected to pass every ball and put it away. That's a big challenge.
Yep, and so we're going to start with that action here on court number 2, the 5 pairs. And immediately, Belton and Kremer strike with the first point.
It's interesting. Most teams serve Joe Kremer every ball. That time, Long Beach State going after Jenna Belton, who gets the kill.
Hudson again receiving the pass.
Good decision by Janelle Hudson to run a back set, make the blocker from USC move, and it just creates some movement in the defense, opening up places to put the ball away.
The left hand comes up a little bit short for Belton.
Jenna Belton needs to stay aggressive. She came in kind of soft. The block had already dropped off the net. She needs to stay aggressive.
Krudoff at the net as they go deep, and Hudson tries to chase it down.
Great high line shot by Jenna Belton, but she needs to keep coming in her approach hard. You want to look the same whether you're going to shoot or hit the ball. That's really important at the highest level of beach volleyball.
Going after Hudson again, and an option on two by Krudoff.
Megan Krudoff, great body control, puts that ball away on two for Long Beach State.
Yeah, Krudoff doesn't have much beach experience. She's an indoor player, and Mike Campbell telling us Hudson helps her stay calm. Hudson has that calm setter's demeanor.
And Megan Krudoff is very fiery, excitable, so they complement each other for Long Beach State.
Kremer was an indoor player at Notre Dame, transferred to SC before last season.
Jo Kremer actually chose to go to Notre Dame because she was hoping they would start a beach program. When she learned they weren't going to do that, she immediately transferred to USC.
Yep, Anna Collier calls this pair her steady eddies as you see them change side. Mike Campbell talking. Hudson sat out the entire fall season with an injury, and you talked about Campbell having some question marks. Janelle Hudson was one of those. He said, I really didn't know what to expect from her after sitting out the season.
But she's been very steady at fives for him. She brings experience. She's played 1s, 2s, and 3s for Long Beach State, but with more depth and more young talent for Long Beach State, she fills into that 5 spot very well and gives them strength and experience there.
Krudoff, how about a hubby wife right down the middle?
Love that flat serve right down the middle between the two passers. Nobody takes a step. They both look at each other.
Isn't that the worst play in beach volleyball?
It's a beautiful play if you're the one executing it.
That's a good point. Depends on your perspective, as always.
Jenna Belton and Jo Kremer for USC have been solid all season long.
Yeah, one of the things that Anna Collier said she likes of this pair in Hawaii, they were one coach short as Dane Blanton had another commitment. And so Kremer and Belton were out on a far court by themselves, had great success. And Collier said it was just beautiful to know that she's so deep that she can send the 5s out there and they can succeed on their own.
Jo Kremer's been playing beach volleyball for a long time. She knows how to play at the highest level. She played all through high school. She was a high school All-American. And she's got the brain and the experience to play this game. Perfect hand set by Jo Kremer. She's really improved in that area, and Jenna Belton recognizes the angle block and finds the opening.
Krudoff, open net. Went long.
No block in front of her and just doesn't snap her wrist on top of that ball, taking it out of bounds.
But it's a 1-point lead for Hudson and Krudoff. Right in there in the second set. Beautiful crush by Kremer.
Jo Kremer runs down that line shot. A lot of teams like to go over the line blocker, but Jo Kremer, not surprised, runs it down and cranks it.
Long Beach State, sorry about that, Holly. Long Beach State has played so tough all season. These are all good losses, and these are the only losses they have this year.
I like what Mike Campbell did with his schedule. He challenged himself. You want to play the best. You want to see where you stand, where you need to improve. And yes, only good losses. He has not lost to a team that he shouldn't lose to. And sometimes you're surprised. It's a windy day. You're off your game. But no, all good losses.
Yeah, and close ones too. I mean, 4 of the 5 were lost 2-3. So important. This team would like to get a chance to go back to Gulf Shores. Action on both courts underway, and much tougher in the second set on both courts, Holly. So the adjustments by Long Beach State have made a difference.
Adjustments and nerves, just settling into that second set. You're not surprised by anything anymore.
Krudoff's serve does not clear the net.
Jenna Belton last season played with April Bustamante at 4s and Jo Kremer with Zoe Nightingale at 5s. So both used to being part of the lineup.
Oh, just a touch there as Kremer regrets reaching out.
Megan Krudoff hit that ball deep enough where Jo Kremer wasn't sure if she wanted to let it go or not. Little touch. Long Beach State point.
Well played by Belton, just right over the block, trying to reach it and recover. Not easy to do.
Long Beach State choosing to continue to stay on Jenna Belton.
Tied up 9 apiece. USC choosing to stay on Janelle Hudson. And then just a communication error as Belton keeps backing up. Kremer trying to get around her.
Jenna Belton made the right move, but then after she contacted the ball, she kept backing up instead of moving towards the net, and Joe Kremer could not get there to set.
That's one where you put your hand on your partner and move her forcefully, gently, I don't know, one way or the other. How about a little help from the equipment for Belton?
Long Beach State is serving the ball well, getting Jenna Belton in a little bit of trouble. They just need to capitalize on their defense and be ready to pick up the ball.
Krudoff receives that serve. Rare, but there's a ball on during play. A ball came from the other court on and had to call that play a replay.
Another chance for USC to serve the ball tough.
Yeah, interesting that it was to Krudoff. We have not seen that. And they go right back to Hudson. Krudoff pulling off. One arm. Hudson chasing it down. Putting it up high. If it clears, it doesn't. They wanted her to look into the sun. A close second set. Hudson, Krudoff, Belton, Kremer battling it out. The 5 pairs.
Pac-12 Network.
Great day of beach volleyball action on Pac-12 Network. Top 5 matchup, Long Beach State and USC. Final week of regular season play in beach volleyball. And this is the first flight of action today. On your right, the 4 pairs, Wagner and Weiss facing Dennis and Bustamante in a closer second set. But we're going to go back to the action on court 2, the 5 pairs. Kremer and Belton of USC in a tight one against Hudson and Krudoff. And Hudson crushing.
I like that aggressive approach by Janelle Hudson. She's athletic. She can hit the ball. She needs to recognize what the USC defense is doing against her and do something different, because she keeps hitting that high line that Joe Kremer keeps gobbling up for points.
Mike Campbell says of Hudson, she is vanilla in a good way. I mean, she doesn't do anything too exotic. She just does the fundamentals.
And you want somebody who's consistent, solid at that 5 position, pushing for a win, especially with Megan Krudoff, who doesn't have a lot of experience.
1-point set, trading back and forth. Holly, how critical would it be for Long Beach State in this duel to get a win out of either the 4 or 5 pair, if not both?
I think it'd obviously be very helpful. It's never easy at any spot to beat the best team in the country at USC. But a win in this first round would really give them confidence going into the last flight. Look at that. Janelle Hudson, beautiful overline.
Hudson, it's a ball up, but it not playable.
Janelle Hudson in the right spot defensively. She just needs to do a better job controlling it.
Well, and you talk about how critical it would be for Long Beach State, in part because in the next flight, you'll see Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes, who, although human, did lose one. It was very rare, and it was the first one they'd lost in 103 matches. So you almost have to give that point away a lot of times.
Correct. Look at Megan Krudoff. Hard approach, and she loves to hit the angle. Good kill from Long Beach State.
Belton does not get the roll off the tape. Krudoff made sure of that.
That ball was set really tight. Jenna Belton needs to get her feet all the way to the ball so she can get a max reach and clear the tape.
All right, Holly, Hudson and Krudoff, 1-point lead coming down to towards the end of the second set. What does Long Beach State need to do?
They need to make some digs and turn them into kills, and they can do that.
A use of the block and a side switch, all tied up at 14.
Interesting, Long Beach State was having all the success off Jenna Belton, then they throw in a Joe Kremer who's missed steady, and she gets the side out off the block. I think if you're doing something that's working, stay with it, unless you're going to bomb your serve and just go for it.
USC 26-0 on the year, top team in the nation, defending NCAA champion. Anna Collier says they've kind of already entered their 3rd season, the postseason, if you will. They have today's matchups against Long Beach State and Bakersfield. And what a hand set that was.
Joe Kremer really worked all offseason to get that hand setting clean, and boy, does she do it perfectly in transition. Jenna Belton from the left side over line.
Again, Hudson handling first ball. And a beautiful putback by Kremer. Long Beach State answering back very strongly. They're a well-coached team. Mike Campbell, the head coach of Long Beach State.
They switch sides on court 1. Ludicrous 17. 49ers 11 there. And a timeout call by the
Coach Mike Campbell for Long Beach State says this is one of the best teams he's had and the best coaching staffs. He's well supported, and that's really important. Mike Campbell supported by Jeff Alzina and Christian Gould, or Chris. Well taken care of at all 3 courts.
In the corner for the point goes April Bustamante.
Last year, the first ever NCAA champions, but there were AVCA champions before then, and Long Beach State captured the AVCA championship in 2013.
And they're really pushing to get back there. Pepperdine after that, and it's been all USC the last couple of years.
We mentioned Long Beach State, one of only 4 programs to ever beat USC, and they did so in that championship match in 2013. One of the interesting things that Anna Collier has done, along with Dane Blanton, the volunteer assistant coach, is they've separated their program entirely from the indoor program. There are no crossover athletes.
And that allows them to have a preseason and off-season to train certain skills. I'll tell you, the girls who play indoor and beach for other schools, they are tired when they come off indoor season, and they really don't have too much time before the season starts to work on their beach game.
Well, it's true, and there's a spring game too that happens right now, and so some of them have been playing spring. Taking a look at the 2-box again, as Dennis and Bustamante are closing in on the first point of the duel. A 19-13 lead on the right side of your screen for Dennis and Bustamante, but an ace serve from Weiss is holding them off. Of course, on the left side, it's a 2-point game. Belton and Kramer have been fighting for their lives against Hudson and Krudoff. On the right side of the screen, Dennis up, no one on. And it is match point, right side of your screen for the 4 pairs.
Lost opportunity for Long Beach State. They dug the ball and just missed cut shot for that point.
Dennis and Bustamante win this point. They win the match and the first point of the duel for SC. Dennis is served. Long.
Very aggressive by Joy Dennis, but just sails a little bit long. Now all they need to do is side out to win this match.
Second match point on the right side of your screen. Left side of your screen, back to a 1-point game. Hudson and Krudoff against Belton and Kremer. But it's the right side we'll keep an eye on for the moment to see if Joy Dennis is able to put this away, and she does. Right side of the screen, the 4 pairs get the first point of the duel.
Boom, and that was an exclamation point on court 1 to end it by Joy Dennis. The blocker jumped way into the angle, opening up the line. Fantastic.
Dennis and Bustamante moved to 13-4 on the season. They have now won 6 in a row. And we return to the action, tied up on court 2. Krudoff, big dig, Hudson. And a big cut as Long Beach State celebrating. Jeff Alzina happy with what he's seeing.
Absolutely. Volunteer assistant for Cal State Long Beach this year, really making a difference. Coach Mike Campbell talked about all the positive attributes he brings. When he talks, all the kids listen, and that's really important, especially to get that from a volunteer assistant.
We're going to get the opportunity for that too, because Jeff Alzina is going to join us between flight of games. When he talks, we will listen. Really interesting coach.
Into the corner it goes.
Jenna Belton finding that high, deep line for USC. It's all tied up at 18 in the second set.
Hudson handles first ball. No one on. Little, so smart. 1 point lead for Beach.
Well, you have to credit Megan Krudoff that pushed that really deep pass all the way to the net. USC had already dropped off, giving Janelle Hudson open net. Well executed headshot.
A little bit of congestion as they try to go. Belton, though, tags the line.
Jenna Belton with the kill, but credit Joe Kremer for running down that errant pass and saving it. They were both there, and then Joe Kremer lifts it enough to give her partner the opportunity to put that away.
Hudson, open net. Big dig by Belton. No one on. Oh, such control. That's what Hudson will do. Cool, calm, and collected.
Love the gamesmanship, the defense on both sides of the net. Janelle Hudson with a big play there. Set point.
Hudson's mother played for Hawaii. Her mom, Carolyn, and that experience paying off, I'm sure, throughout the family, as it is set point. Such exciting action last week of Pac-12 regular season, and then next week we will be heading to Tucson, and Pac-12 Network is going to do it up big. 12 hours of coverage the first day on Thursday, April 27th. Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Championship. We're going to start the action at 9 a.m. on April 27th and then continue it on 28th. The team championships on Pac-12 Network.
I can't wait. It's going to be so competitive. And right now, the Pac-12 boasts the top 2 ranked teams in the country. USC at 1, UCLA at 2.
Yeah, and USC and UCLA will square off this weekend, as a matter of fact, on USC's senior day here. But what a great time we're going to have in Tucson. Just showing you all the teams. There are 9 teams in the Pac-12 conference that are playing beach volleyball.
And the sport is growing. It's the first time we've had that many teams. Utah, the new team to the party, really had some early success. Danny Barton, just a freshman, playing with Adora Anai at ones. One of the best physical teams in the country. They have a very short beach season because this is their first season, but the Utah 1 team is a team to watch, or pair, Utah 1 pair.
Yeah, Beth Lanier building a great program. She was so excited to have the commitment from her university for a beach volleyball program. Beth Lanier, the Utes, and the other 8 Pac-12 programs will all be there. Meanwhile, for the set, Hudson setting Krudoff, pulling off the net, and Krudoff and Hudson will extend it to a 3rd set on court number 2.
That's a big-time play by Megan Krudoff, peeling off the net, digging the ball, and putting it away to get that 2nd set victory.
Must win by 2.
Joy Dennis and Abril Bustamante took the first point on the board, but the 5 pairs, well, they're going to go to a 3rd set, and we're going to have it start on the other side. Pac-12 Beach Volleyball, USC has put the first point of the duel on the board from Dennis and Bustamante, the 4 pairs. Yeah, the fans here are saying, fight on. By the way, I love the Cash Me Outside. Got to know that reference. Love it. As the SC Beach Volleyball fans are fired up, and with good reason, because Long Beach State is in town. Mike Campbell, Jeff Alzina's 5th pair, Hudson and Krudoff, just won the 2nd set.
And they've been so steady all season long. They're 22-3 on this season, really pushing Kremer and Belton.
Yeah, what do you think was the key to their success in that 2nd set?
They made some defensive plays and were able to put them away. That's the difference. Touching the ball defensively is one thing, but turning it into a kill is another. And against a high-level team like Jenna Belton and Joe Kremer, you have to dig the ball and put it away. You have to earn it.
Well, and we saw them serve Hudson over and over and over again, but this is what Mike Campbell has said to us, what we know from covering their games indoor and out. She's a gamer. She starts off the 3rd set with an ace.
And what you would consider the bad side, with the wind at your back, she caught the back line for an ace to start the 3rd set.
Well, can you explain why is that considered the bad side with the wind at your back?
When the wind's at your back, you have to control the touch on the ball because it's going to sail long. That time, another ace, but Joe Kremer just unable to pass it.
Hudson, a former Big West Player of the Year. Krudoff shutting down the net. Pokey to the corner. Beach comes out big with a 3-0 start.
I like the way Megan Krudoff plays. She's very long at the net. She gets her feet to the ball. That ball's set tight, and she's able to clear Jenna Belton at the net.
So critical for Long Beach State to try to get a win in this first flight of matches. And Joy Dennis and Abril Bustamante already got it in the fours. Krudoff again shuts the net, 4-0 lead.
Fantastic block over the net. She not only reached over the net, but sealed the line. Jenna Belton, the left-handed player for USC, trying to hit that ball line.
And remember, Krudoff, not a lot of beach experience. She's an indoor player, but Mike Campbell likes her with Hudson because of the kind of yin and yang of their personalities. Wow, that is called a roll. Another ace. 3 out of 5 points have been Hudson ace.
Fantastic start for Long Beach State, up 5-0 on the switch. And switching to the side where the wind is in their face, so they have the huge advantage in this third set.
And again, if you're watching for the first time, they're switching on 5s now because the third set is shorter. It's only to 15. The beach has been getting stronger every year. We mentioned last year that 13 and 14 record is because they played the top 5 teams 11 times.
All sorts of trouble in this third set for USC. Jenna Belton not passing the ball well and struggling on her side-out game. Watch Jill Kremer. She should probably step over, take more of the court, take the pressure off Jenna Belton.
Line over as Hudson gets part of it. And Holly, this is where we can really talk about the team aspect of this game and the importance in depth, because if the 5s are able to get a win, you're all evened up.
Exactly. There's 5 pairs meeting up, so there's not one that's weighed more heavily. So if you win at 5s, that's just as important as winning at 1s. And there you see Jenna Belton had an overpass opportunity, trying to go deep, hitting it long. So USC calling a timeout, needs to sit down and think about it, get refocused. Down 1-7 in this third set.
Kremer and Belton are going to get some terrific advice, though, as they have Olympic gold medalist Dane Blanton going to talk with them. And as we take a look at the growth of this incredible sport, I mean, in 2012, just 15 programs were playing beach volleyball. It's already up to 77 Division I programs.
That is so exciting, and it was the fastest growing sport ever to become an NCAA sport, and to see that number 77, I feel like there's a bunch of schools right on the ledge about to jump in as well, seeing the success that all these other schools are having.
Yeah, 32 more schools perhaps expected in the next couple of years.
And I feel like the sooner you do it, the sooner you jump in, the more success you'll have, or the faster it will come, because it takes a while to build that kind of depth and have 10 good pairs that can compete.
Well, and the big difference now, right, is that we're seeing that there is training for high school athletes on the beach, and there never used to be that, even just a few years ago.
I can't even believe how big it is. You can go anywhere in Southern California on a weekend in the spring, April, and you can find 100 teams playing in a junior event. And so the grassroots is the best it's ever been in our sport.
Coming out of the timeout to another split right down the middle. For Belton and Kremer, the wheels are coming off.
They certainly are, but Megan Krudoff, we saw her that ace down the middle earlier, gets it again. And just the pressure all on USC right now. Long Beach State playing so aggressive, especially from the service line. I believe 5 of their points are all off their serve.
It's another side switch, the 8-2 switch, adding up to 10. The third set is only to 15. Do you approach the third set any differently, knowing it's shorter?
Yes, it's really important because it's a race. It's a race to 15, and right now, USC needs 4 or 5 points from the side they're on to keep it close.
Little shot from Hudson. She's seeing the court.
Janelle Hudson, you can see what kind of a competitor she is. Ice in her veins, and now really executing at a higher level in this third set.
Hudson started off with 3 aces. Up at the net, very tight. Good use by Belton off Krudoff's hands.
Big time side out by Belton. That time, Megan Krudoff did not seal the line like she did earlier, and Belton was able to put the ball away.
It'll be really interesting to talk with Jeff Balzina, the volunteer assistant for Long Beach State, after this match ends. Talk about this performance and the places that Long Beach State is going.
He's been having a lot of fun and really enjoys coaching at this level.
There you see Alzina and Campbell together. Mike Campbell, grateful for Alzina. He spent some time talking with us on the phone about what Alzina brings to the program. A bit of an E.F. Hutton, people listening, as you pointed out earlier.
How about that fall-away roll shot? The set came way off the net. Janelle Hudson was in trouble, but she saved it with a fantastic roll shot that she got to drop.
Kremer at the net. Kremer putting it away.
Big time kill by Joe Kremer, but not enough points on that side in my mind. Switching to the bad side with the wind at their back, down 5-10.
Third set for the 5 pairs. The 4 pairs match already over. Dennis and Bustamante of USC put the first point of the duel on the board. Hudson up. No touch.
I like the aggressive swing. Long Beach State has the lead. Janelle Hudson needs to remain aggressive like that.
Belton serving. Krudoff just goes the other way.
Janelle Hudson, known for her setting, puts up a very hittable ball, and Megan Krudoff is long at 6 feet. She has the range to put that ball away.
Known for her setting, was the former Big West Player of the Year, was the starting setter for the indoor program, was Hudson. Great server, as she's proven today. Off the block, Hudson. No panic, just beautiful control. And this time they set Hudson. Out.
That ball hit deep middle. It was actually in. Jo Kremer did the work with her feet, got outside that ball, and took a fantastic rip at it right down the middle. That's a great way to end a rally.
They're still going after Hudson, but she is delivering. No one on. She's going to make you come all the way up.
And she's had a lot of success with that roll shot. She looks like she's coming in to hit the ball, so the defenders are back off the net, and then she just gets on top of the ball with her hand. That is a perfect roll shot.
Isn't part of it, too, that you know she has great vision. If you do come up, she's going to hurt you.
Correct.
They switch again. Coordinators up by 4.
Pretty good switch. USC going to the good side, only down by 4.
Right, so they chipped away at 1 from the 10-5. SC put another one on, and as you mentioned, now at the side where the wind is in their face, serving into the wind.
Pressure on Long Beach State now. They're going to have to side out with the wind at their back.
At the same time, though, Long Beach State only 3 points away from taking the match. At Hudson. Tight set. Wow, crafty.
You know what I liked about that play? Janelle Hudson knew the wind and chose to run a back set to put herself in a better position to put it away, and then wins the battle of the tight set at the net.
So Hudson chose to run a back set by communicating that to her partner as she's setting.
Yes, and that's smart. Instead of having her partner set into the wind, she used the wind in her favor.
Hand set back to Kremer. Drops in.
There she is, the steady one on the court. USC's Jo Kremer, so experienced. She's kind of been out of the equation because all she's been doing is setting in this match.
Kremer back to serve as the lines are getting straightened. Bert Fuller taking a look at them, one of the officials here. Clays and Hughes fired up. They're coming up in the second flight of action. Hudson. Set, Krudoff tries to go high line, and it is match point, Long Beach State.
Wow, Jo Kremer was all over that for USC. She read it and then just was unable to control it.
Hudson and Krudoff, no surprise they're having success. They have the most wins on the Long Beach State roster. But not yet, says SC.
Now, why did Long Beach State, who's had so much success against Jenna Belton, go back to Joe Kremer?
Accident?
Possibly.
It remains a match point. Hudson chasing it down. Uh-oh, trouble set.
Net violation, that ball set too tight by Jenna Belton. Joe Kremer hit the net. Wow, what a big win by Long Beach State at 5.
Hudson and Krudoff 23-3 on the season, most wins on the 49ers, and they have put a point on the board. It's tied up 1 apiece. Don't go anywhere. Jeff Alzina is going to join us in the booth next.
You need tires.
Visit your local Infinity retailer.
All tied up at 1 apiece. And isn't that what great collegiate volleyball is about? Pac-12 Network, Long Beach State and USC, 2 top 5 programs tied up at 1 apiece. Hey everybody, we got a guest in the booth with us. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson, of course 3-time Olympian Holly McPeak. And how about Jeff Alzina, volunteer assistant coach for Long Beach State? You put that volunteer in front, Jeff. You've coached 8 national programs in terms of 8 different federations. What made you want to come back and coach the college programs?
Well, it's always America first for me. I want our American players to be the best in the world, and that's where most of my efforts are going to go.
When did you decide you wanted to be part of the collegiate game?
You know, it wasn't all that long ago because I was enjoying coaching collegiate indoor. I was enjoying coaching club. But I've been coaching beach for, I think this is my 20th season now. And
you're not that old.
Thank you. I am, though. I got my master's degree down at Long Beach State, and so I've kind of stayed in touch with some of the professors down there and what's happening down there. And I knew there was an opportunity, an opening there, and it just seemed like a perfect fit.
What is your goal? Is your goal to be a head coach somewhere in the collegiate game, or do you want to go back with the national team?
Without any doubt, my heart is set on the collegiate game. You know, I've been very fortunate to coach you and a lot of other players on the international scene and traveled the world and got to represent the USA as an Olympian in 2004. But I love the collegiate atmosphere, the rivalries, the learning, the youth, the opportunity. So I'm just kind of in love with that element of the game right now.
That's exciting for the collegiate game because it's the one area where I think really can grow. We need better coaches leading these programs. A lot of programs are just saying, hey, here, you're the indoor coach, you take beach volleyball. It's a completely different sport. It is not the same sport. It's you, as you know.
Yeah.
I'm speaking. I'm preaching to the choir.
That's for sure. Yeah, they're very different sports. You know, I mean, we can all learn. Indoor coaches. I was an indoor coach only at one point, and you can learn, but it takes a while to get that learning curve. It's a totally different dynamic out here. There's no substitutions. It's only 2 kids, and they've got to be great decision makers. You've got to teach them all sorts of things about decision making and emotionality and controlling themselves, and interacting with one person only when times are tough. So it's a very different sport.
Well, so let's take you back to the match that we just saw with Hudson and Krudoff. In terms of the way they composed themselves after that first set, kind of what adjustments were made, and what did you think of that performance?
They just needed to settle down. I mean, USC brings with them the reputation that they've earned and deserved. You know, they were undefeated this year. They've got a lot of the best recruits in the nation, year in and year out. And I think our girls just needed to settle down a little bit, across the board. So once they did, Coach Mike was able to give them a little bit different game plan and pass the ball a little bit better. And once you get out, then you can start thinking about how do I score? How do I serve it differently and set up a different defense? So they settled down nicely. We've been so proud of them all year long. They've been doing it over and over. I think they've got to be one of the best 5 teams in the country. They've carried us in so many different situations when we've needed it and made surprise victories. They get all the victories they're quote-unquote supposed to get. So they're awesome. That's a great win for them.
What do you think? Obviously, you have so much experience, but what have you enjoyed bringing to the table to this Long Beach State program?
Hard to pin down one thing, but it's certainly just experience and having done it for such a long time, exclusively being a beach coach only. Just showing them that there's a real art to the sport and a real art to human interaction with one partner. So everyone can kind of teach the X's and O's, I think, once they've learned it. But teaching the personality, the decision making, and the art of the sport.
One of the things that I sense and I see from your posts on Facebook is the energy and passion you have for the sport, and it means a lot to the athletes. When you see somebody who's leading your program with that kind of energy, it pays off and it shows.
Well, thanks. I think the other coaches would say that too. The girls definitely like having my fire there. I like to bring a lot of positivity because at the end of the day, they're getting to play for their college and they're outdoors in the sun and doing what they love.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. Long Beach State, 5th-ranked team in the nation, hoping to be in Gulf Shores, Alabama in just a couple of weeks. And you look pretty good, Jeff.
Fingers are crossed. We've done everything we can do.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us now. When we come back, it'll be the 1, 2, and 3 teams. And yes, that means that Barber and Nieto is going to face Clays and Hughes.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
What a great day to get your toes in the sand, tied up at 1 apiece. Long Beach State and USC. Top 5 matchup, and boy, Holly McPeak, they are playing like it. We're going to start the second flight of action now. That means 3 courts going at the same time. On court 3, the 3 pairs, Karlov, Pekic, Bukovic, and Wheeler. On court 2, the 2s, Bricka and Harward. Boy, Harward is fun to watch indoor, and then Cannon and Martin. But we are going to start our action and turn our attention to court number 1. The best pair in collegiate beach volleyball, Sarah Hughes and Kelly Clays, will face Nayla Barber and Rachel Nieto of Long Beach State. This should be a great one.
I agree. You know, the one team for Long Beach State, Nayla Barber and Rachel Nieto, very athletic. They've got the physicality to challenge Clays and Hughes. So this is going to be a fun one to watch.
Clays and Hughes won 103 straight matches going back 2 years. They finally lost one, proving that they're human, in the wind. 3rd set, 17-15. Hughes starting things off. And a crush to start things off by Barber.
USC testing Nayla Barber. She's the less experienced player on the beach, but she is an all-around skilled player from indoors. Puts that quick set away.
Yeah, one of the things that Campbell has said to Barber is, hey, look, it's okay to make errors. No one on. Plays knuckles. Ball is playable. And so Clay says, go for a run.
But you see the athleticism and the hustle on the other side of the net, Long Beach State. What a fantastic effort to get that ball over the net.
This is the first time this year that Long Beach State and USC are meeting. You might see them again in the NCAA tournament, the way both these teams are playing. What a put away. The dig from Clay is huge to start it off.
Kelly Clays has a really strong serve, gets Nayla Barber in trouble, and then digs the ball and puts it away for the USC kill.
Yeah, beautiful gator dig. Heat on the serve.
Nayla Barber, or the Long Beach State team, they're on the side with the wind at their back. The ball's dropping. She needs a little bit longer touch on the ball on her serve receive. Her platform's in the right location, just a longer touch to guide that ball.
Up now, Clays and Barber shut the door.
Nayla Barber saw the shot open, but Kelly Clays took it away from her, sealing the line. Plus, you have to go higher when you're playing against Kelly Clays. She can get away with that shot against some teams, not against Kelly Clays and USC.
Clays and Hughes in their senior season, final year for USC. In a lot of ways are credited with changing the face of collegiate beach volleyball. Both incredible indoor athletes who made the decision to go beach only and change the face of this game.
Kelly Clays, not only is she serving the ball, she's dropping off the net and making really good digs to put the ball away for USC. This ball set off the net, but a little fall-away cut shot drops for USC.
Nieto off the tape.
Rachel Nieto barely gets her feet to the ball, but able to touch that ball and get it to drop for the Long Beach State kill. What a serve down the line. Nieto controls it, and then a little hand on the ball is able to get it to drop.
Barber and Nieto started off the year very hot, 19-0 until they ran into UCLA's one pair, the McNamara's, Nicole and Megan McNamara. Barber goes at Clay's, pulls off, controlled. Sarah Hughes so strong, approaching the ball. Nieto. Mike Campbell says she is dialed in, and it looks like it.
If you watch Rachel Nieto move around the court, her foot speed is fantastic. Both Clays and Sarah Hughes have fantastic footwork and quick foot speed, and it really helps in the sport of beach volleyball when you have to cover the entire court.
You know, a lot of people watching are training for beach volleyball. How do you train quick foot speed? Is it something you're born with, or can you work on it and get better?
You can definitely improve, but it is a gift. It is a gift to have that kind of foot speed. You can train and work on your footwork. And once you get those sand legs from training in the sand, you really get that faster foot speed.
2-point lead for Clays and Hughes here as we take a look at the other courts. Bukovic and Wheeler, 4-point lead on court number 2. No one on. Punished.
All the balls going to Kelly Clays right now, and she's answering that question. She gets up, open net, and hammers that ball. If I'm Nayla Barber, I stay up and block that ball. At least force her to hit around the block.
Well, and the same thing, if you're Long Beach State, do you go after Clays? Do you go after Hughes? How do you decide between two incredible players?
One, you want to serve the ball extremely tough. Kelly Clays is more of a hitter, so again, you play to the strength of your defense. When you've got Nayla Barber at the net, why not go at Kelly Clays and put up a big block in front of the big hitter? Nayla Barber hits a very aggressive jump serve that catches the back line for the ace. There you see it.
Tied up with another ace. 2 consecutive aces by Nayla Barber.
And she catches the back line, and then the top of the tape gets it to drop. Back-to-back aces. Good side switch for Long Beach State, tied up at 7s.
What an incredible start for Barber and Nieto. Meanwhile, Clays and Hughes, so calm. There's no panic in their game. They have played against the top pros in the country, and by the top pros, we mean April Ross and Carrie Walsh-Jennings, so the top pros.
Sarah Hughes all over that shot and just wasn't able to control it. It was almost too fast. Long Beach State playing them back and forth right now.
Barber serving. Gonna stay up. Wow, Clay's arm speed so fast.
And Kelly Clays has great offensive range. They've tested Kelly Clays out. I know they're playing them pretty even. I would throw a couple at Sarah Hughes just to see what they can do.
Clay staying up. Barber just pounding the ball.
Fantastic technique. She gets her feet to the ball, makes high contact, and drives that ball sharp. So sharp that Sarah Hughes can't even get there.
I mean, this is Barber's 2nd year of beach volleyball ever. And she has really been able to improve. I mean, the one team is looking terrific.
The transition from indoor to beach, if you're an all-around skilled indoor player, is a little bit easier. Nayla Barber has no weaknesses indoors.
And her indoor eligibility is done, and so now she can focus just on the beach. Nieto making the most of that set.
And there is the toughest area to learn, setting on the beach. And Rachel Nieto is saving that set. That set's too far inside for Rachel Nieto. Long Beach State back-to-back service errors, and you can't do that against Clays and Hughes.
Don't want to give them a single point, and now with those back-to-back errors, it's tied up again. And Hughes will come after you. Serving Nieto. Nieto goes high enough off of Clays' hands, option the other way. Looking for the corner, Nieto gets it. Does not tag the line, and Beach comes up successful.
Credit Rachel Nieto, 2 great digs in that rally.
1 point lead for Long Beach State on court number 1.
You're watching Pac.
It's always a great day when you don't have to wear shoes to work. Toes in the sand, Long Beach State and USC tied up at 1 apiece. Pac-12 beach volleyball. I mean, what an interesting, it's the final week of regular season for all these teams. Long Beach State, of course, in the Big West. The action on court number 1 is hot. Clays pounds out of the timeout.
Nayla Barber was lined up perfect to block that ball, but she needs to drop her left hand and shut down that angle for Kelly Clays to take some pressure off her partner.
Long Beach State, one of the top programs in the nation. USC undefeated at 26-0 this season. Nieto, no one on. Wow.
Kelly Clays loves to hit that ball sharp angle, just missing it 2 inches wide. And you see what I mean when I call Kelly Clays a hitter. She wants to hit the ball.
I see what you mean.
She can hit the ball, but she just likes to put the ball away.
So, Holly, let me ask you this. Clays has now cut it going cross court so many times. Not a cut, but a cross court so many times. Should they just block and cross court? I mean, we know she can hit line, but
Nayla Barber, the blocker for Long Beach State, needs to make a big move and jump in and block that ball.
So show that she's going to stay in the same place, but move in at the last
second, split second, and she should get a block.
All right, we'll see how it plays out.
Jump serve down the line, and then Nayla Barber options that ball, hitting that second ball for the side out kill.
Nieto keeping after Clays. Not over, and a 2-point lead for Barber and Nieto.
Long Beach State forcing USC to make some errors that they don't usually make.
What a set from Hughes. Over the block goes Clays.
Kelly Clays decides to make a very efficient shot, gets her feet to the ball, high line shot for the kill.
It did tag the back line.
Well executed jump serve with the wind at her back. Kelly Clays ace on the back line. Tying it up.
Clays and Hughes 25-1 as a pair this season. 123 wins, 4 losses all time as a pair.
And it's rare that they're pushed like this, but I think it's good for them. They have to find the answer, and it's good for them to get pushed.
Well, and it's interesting. I mean, all the top pairs say that, don't they? That they want to do that. I mean, even April Ross, you and I were talking with her yesterday, and she was saying about Clays and Hughes that they can push her and carry, and what a difference it makes. You want to be pushed, and sometimes when you're that elite team, it's hard to find the right competition.
You're right. So these kind of matches are the matches that you grow and you get better.
Barber up there. And again, Kelly Clays just crushing the ball cross court.
But at what point do you make that adjustment on the block? I think Long Beach State should have done it by now. Jump into that angle block and make Kelly Clays hit it around your block.
This serve to Nieto. Hughes, dig. A rare attack by Sarah Hughes. Doug. Did we mention that she's ambidextrous? Kelly Clays.
We haven't yet, but yes, she is.
Well, maybe we should have mentioned it earlier, because there it was. If you give her the opportunity, Kelly Clays taught herself how to use her left hand in high school by throwing a football with her father. Nieto. And here's Clays again. Beautiful.
This is an area that Kelly Clays has really improved. She starts at the net as a blocker, sees the set, decides to pull off and play defense. She is turning those types of digs and pulls into kills for USC, and that's just made them better.
After being tied up at 15 apiece, now it's a 2-point lead for SC. Nieto puts that one away. Long Beach State has plenty of answers.
They certainly do. That time, Rachel Nieto, lots of heat down the line. Kelly Clays could not control it.
Now serving on court 1.
Beautiful set.
All right, there's the adjustment. Long Beach State made the adjustment to block the angle. Nayla Barber didn't have her feet under her, or she could have turned and got that little shot. But I like the adjustment by Long Beach State.
Clays. Ace serve for USC's Kelly Clays.
Kelly Clays puts so much heat on that ball that Nayla Barber needs to touch that ball longer with her arms.
On court number 3, it is set point. Martin, or Dick.
Therese Cannon and Nicolette Martin just need a side out, up 2014.
Cannon, a junior. And a service error will do as well, as Cannon and Martin take set number 1 over Long Beach State, the 3 pairs. Back to the action on court number 1. Still a 2-point USC lead. Barber serving. Continuing to go at Clays, and a long cross-court run. Again, cross-court blocking.
It's just the timing is tricky with an angle block, and Rachel Nieto is making her move a little too soon, and Kelly Clays identifies that.
Hughes serving for the set win. Goes after Nieto. No one on. How about the heat by Rachel Nieto?
Rachel Nieto hits that ball hard at Kelly Clays, who can't control it. If Kelly Clays would open her hands, she can open hand dig that ball. She would have more control on that dig.
SC set point again. Ball sent long, and it's a 1-point game with Nieto still serving.
There's the angle block, and it forces Kelly Clays to go over the blocker and out of bounds.
Nieto has been dialed in, according to Coach Mike Campbell. Loving the way she's playing. Shutdown block. First one of the set.
That's the first time Nayla Barber has really reached over the net and shut down with her left hand that angle that Kelly Clays wants to hit. Good adjustment by Long Beach State.
Tied up at 20 apiece. Extra points in set number 1. Barber. Miss hit.
That's a break for USC. Nayla Barber dropped off the net, dug the ball she wanted, and just missed execution there. Cannot keep the ball in the court.
You do not get many opportunities against Clays and Hughes. This one for the set. And a service error.
All tied up at 21 all. USC coming to the side with the wind in their face, the better side.
2 box, as you look on the left side of your screen, it is set point for Bukovic and Wheeler.
And the ball drops on the Luminatory side.
Long Beach State playing hard on every court.
This is so good for all the pairs today, and you see Sasha Karolov and Kobe Pikic really pushing Allie Wheeler and Sophie Bukovic.
Bukovic off the block, good use. For USC, a set win from the 2 pairs. Wheeler and Bukovic win first set. Therese Cannon and Nicolette Martin won the first set. But on court 1, nope, it's still going to continue on, as Clays and Hughes been given fits. On a call, you're talking with her 2 pairs.
Tied up at 21-21. USC needs to figure out how they can side out more consistently. What is Long Beach State doing defensively? They're going to recognize that and make some adjustments.
Barber serving. Clays pass on the money. And she goes right after the line.
Back line. I like the timing of the defense and the defender for Long Beach State. There was better timing, but Kelly Clays executes a fantastic deep line shot.
Sarah Hughes serving for the set. It is set point number 5. After Nieto, perfect pass. Clays is blocking, and Nieto's attack goes a little bit wide. Clays and Hughes take set number 1, but they do break a big sweat.
They certainly do. It's going to be interesting to see the adjustments between these two sets from both teams.
USC's 1, 2s, and 3 pairs take the first set, but Long Beach State looks very tough. Tied up at 1 apiece. Long Beach State and USC, a top 5 matchup on Pac-12 Network. In the first set of the second flight, USC won the first set in each match. We're going to take a look now at the 2 pairs on court 2, Karlov and Pekic of Long Beach State versus Vukovic and Wheeler.
Ready to start the second set now on
Pekic survey, Mike Campbell calls her a beach rat. She was terrific for this Long Beach State team when they played last year. Lost in 3 with Sammy Thomas.
This is an interesting matchup because Sophie Vukovic and Allie Wheeler are big, physical, both blockers. And then on the other side of the net, both players about 5'9", so no dominant blocker on their side of the net, but great ball control.
Well, when you talk about that no dominant blocker, does that make it hard sometimes to know who to serve?
Not really. It makes it hard to match up against a big hitting team who's got a lot of physicality at the net.
Wheeler pulling off and put right between him, Karlov.
Sasha Karlov, good instincts. Mike Campbell talks about her volleyball instincts. I love the court vision and the decision to go deep middle with no block in front of her.
Vukovic turns it line.
Sophie Vukovic didn't get a lot of serves last year. She partnered with Alexa Strange.
Pass is solid. What a nice use off the block by Pekic.
Kobe Pekic, strong defender. She came from Irvine Valley City College, but really does a good job all around, good skills on the beach. Knowing the beach game is so valuable. A lot of these girls are just learning first, second year, but that volleyball, beach volleyball experience is really important.
Pekic's serve is wide. She's partnered with Sasha Karlov. Karlov received almost all the serves in the first set between these two. And you talk about knowing the game. Well, yes, her mom was a Russian Olympian. Karlov's is. Grow up with the ball in your hand. Wow, what a shutdown by Allie Wheeler.
You talk about her, yes, she has a good volleyball background, but she likes to hit, and in that situation, you can't hit. Allie Wheeler all over the net for USC. Allie Wheeler needs to follow that ball. She went with the hitter instead of the ball. The hitter always has to come to the ball. If you're a blocker, get on the ball.
Tied up at 3 now on court 1. Roll shot by Nicolette Martin. With a point on court 3.
Wheeler and Vukovic, this pair for USC, have both suffered injuries at different times this year, have played without each other and then back with each other. What does it say of USC that they have the depth to move people around for injuries and still win so consistently?
Head coach Anna Collier talks about the depth and that they like to push each other. And because she can plug different players into that 2 spot, when Sophie Vukovic was resting her back, it really helps the team grow and it gets those other players experience on the court competing. What a set by Allie Wheeler. She's doing a fantastic job setting from the right side. She's been a left side player for 3 years, partnering with Nicolette Martin. And this year she's made a transition to the right and she's split blocking. Big differences for her senior season.
Trying to go around them, and Pekic does just that. Point for Long Beach State.
Back to serve is Rachel Nieto.
3-point lead for Vukovic and Wheeler. Back up at the net. Just put it where they're not. That's what that's about. Bukovic and Wheeler, both seniors for this USC team that is rich with seniors. Look at the records. They have had so much success.
They certainly have. And the contribution and leadership all of those players have brought to this program have been fantastic. That winning percentage, 882. Wow.
I mean, that is being associated with success. And yet Anna Collier telling us that when the freshmen arrived on campus, look, we're here, we're NCAA champions. And she says, no, you have not done anything yet. Anna Collier tells her freshmen when she recruits them, you need to win this summer. You're coming in with 5 other incredibly talented athletes.
And if she's recruiting you, you better be winning or you're not going to get recruited. She wants winners in her program, and she has some big shoes to fill losing those seniors.
Wow. I mean, again, of course, Clays and Hughes. We talked about the athletes you're not watching now. Bukovic and Wheeler are seniors as well for this team. It just goes on and on. Nicolette Martin, you mentioned her, another senior.
I like this set, little bit inside, but Sophie Bukovic gets her feet to the ball and cranks that sharp angle. She's got so much power. She's such an explosive player for USC.
Another 4-point lead for SC. Coming around behind, no one on. Just set a little long.
Long Beach State likes to run a lower set, likes to move the block around, run back sets to create openings for their offense.
Up by 5 there. Elise Cannon now back to serve.
Ball's up and go into the line. Well done by Pekic.
Allie Wheeler, a first-year backcourt defender, gets to her angle spot. Instead of stopping, being ready to react, she's still moving. She needs to get stopped, and then she can run that ball down.
Why is it so important to stop?
Because you can't react when you're moving left. You can't go right. So you have to be stopped, ready to react to wherever the ball's going.
Taking a look at the score on court 3 as well. Cannon and Martin having their way with Brinka and Harwood.
Back to serve on court number 2. They switch sides on court 1.
4-point lead, though, on court 2 for Bukovic and Wheeler. They go at Karlov. Right back at her. And that's one of the things that Mike Campbell has said about her. He calls her a stubborn Russian who insists on hitting.
Exactly. She likes to hit first. And Allie Wheeler on this tight ball, there's nowhere to go. If I'm her, I just want to poke it into the block and get it back and get another opportunity to put the ball away with a little more room to swing.
Yeah, and it's important to note, Mike Campbell's the one calling her a stubborn Russian, not me. But he was saying, it's just she doesn't have a lot of experience here. And with players that don't have a lot of beach experience, is that something you find often, is that they'll go to their hit first?
Definitely. That's what they're most confident with. But, she was a 4-year libero at Duke.
7-point lead for Bukovic and Wheeler on court number 2.
Experience, there are only 2 things guaranteed.
Watching Pac-12 Los Angeles.
Pac-12 Beach Volleyball is brought to you by State Farm. Get to a better state. Great day for some beach volleyball. Top 5 matchup. Long Beach State and USC tied up at 1 apiece. 3 courts of action going right now in the second flight. Clays and Hughes and Barber and Nieto battling it out on court number 1. We're going to return to the action, though, on court number 2, where Sasha Karlov and Kobe Pekic of Long Beach State facing Allie Wheeler and Sophie Bukovic of USC. And Bukovic and Wheeler a more commanding lead in the second set.
Yeah, if you're Long Beach State, you're outsized at the net. Keep the set off the net and give your team room to swing and beat them in the backcourt. That's the only way. Otherwise, USC outpowers you at the net.
Karlov serving. Bukovic takes a swing, set long, point, 49ers.
Sophie Bukovic just likes to hammer the ball that time, just did not make good hand contact sending that long.
Optioning. Karlov digs it. Trouble play, but it's over. Going for the corner.
Nice hands. Sophie Bukovic faced where she wanted to go, setting over to the open court. Good dig by Allie Wheeler.
That's a heartbreaker. Love that. She's thinking along the way, why make this harder than it needs to be? Wheeler, heat, and an ace serve.
Allie Wheeler's been working hard on that top spin jump serve. She's much more aggressive. Before she used to have to serve and run to the net to block. Now she can go aggressive from the back line and get ready to play defense instead of sprinting to the net.
Yeah, this partnership, Wheeler and Martin were partners for years and best friends, and that's another thing that speaks to the depth of USC's program, that Anna Collier is comfortable breaking up an incredibly successful partnership this year.
Yeah, I'm sure it was hard for her, but now instead of one strong team, they've got two strong teams. Nicolette Martin making her younger partner Therese Cannon better, and Allie Wheeler filling in the void that Alexa Strange left with Sophie Vukovic.
Vukovic tries to go hard after that, ends up in the net. Still a commanding lead for Vukovic and Wheeler. If they're able to win this second set, they will put another point on the board for SC.
Sophie Vukovic getting in a little trouble passing, and that's what Long Beach State needs to do to take her power game away from her. Serve her tough.
Back to serve is Pekic. Vukovic up and puts it down.
If Sophie Vukovic gets that set on the net, she has the advantage. And you see that was a beautiful set by Allie Wheeler. She just cranks that down.
Vukovic back to serve, has a tremendous jump serve, but Anna Collier has grounded her because of that back injury. Says just wants to give it a little bit of a rest, maybe bring it back out for NCAAs.
How about that cut shot by Sasha Karlov? She just threaded the needle, gets that ball to drop for Long Beach State.
And they are 3 points away from taking the set. Second set down there as well.
Pekic staying up to block. Ball a little bit long there from Vukovic.
Good blocking decision by Long Beach State, getting in Sophie Vukovic's angle, making her go over angle, and she doesn't execute it well enough to stay in the court.
Option on two, and it works out just fine as Wheeler takes that one for herself. Vukovic and Wheeler steamrolling their way towards a match win over Karlov and Pekic.
I love the fact that Sophie Vukovic has a twin sister, Stephanie, who's a professional soccer player in Sweden. What an athletic family.
I love that they have different sports. We've talked so much about twins in volleyball.
Correct, good point.
And so it is match point on court 2 on the left side of your screen, now 2013. On the right side, Cannon and Martin also speeding towards a point. If both of these USC teams win these last couple of points, USC wins the duel, though of course we will keep covering the action until the teams have finished playing. Match point on both courts. On the left side of your screen, it is Pekic serving. Vukovic puts it away. Left side of your screen, Vukovic and Wheeler win the match. And the point on the right side, it remains match point. This is 3 pairs. And Cannon doesn't have to be fancy. Therese Cannon and Nicolette Martin win that match. And so just like that, USC wins the duel. They're 2 and 3 pairs securing the win.
So right now the score 3-1 USC. Our 1 pair is still playing. So it can either be 3-2 or 4-1 in USC's favor.
Cannon and Martin of USC with the win. Anna Collier talking with Wheeler and Vukovic. And there you see the score on the duel. 3-1, USC wins the duel. However, there's still plenty of action and excitement on court number 1. The best team, the best pair in collegiate beach volleyball being pushed. Hughes and Clays being pushed well by Nieto and Barber. And here's Nieto. And a net violation against Barber.
That ball is passed too tight into the net. Nayla Barber trying to set that ball for a partner, just brushes the bottom of the tape.
Sarah Hughes back to serve. Nieto So pretty. Does it get the outside of the sideline?
Well executed line shot. She knows she has to hit that fast to the line to beat the sprinting Sarah Hughes, but she does it.
Kelly Clays has 8 kills in this set and bombs away again.
Kelly Clays on the service line. She's got such an aggressive serve. Watch her go cross court at Barber. Or not.
I like that. Or not. Nieto, no one on. Goes on the outside of Clays. Hughes chases it down. Left hand. Impossible angle.
Exactly. I was thinking, how is she going to hit that ball with that angle? You still, regardless if you're ambidextrous, you've got to get around that ball with your feet.
I wouldn't know, and that's the thing.
Neither would I, but.
Ball on. So they're going to stop the play so nobody jumps up and gets hurt. It's just a ball sent over from another court where people are warming up.
Replay is called. Court point. Back to serve.
Barber goes at Clays. Up. Ba-boom. Off the hands.
Good recognition by Kelly Clays. Seeing the block. Nayla Barber still needs to reach over the net and cut off that angle, but Kelly Clays made high contact to clear the block.
Hughes right down the middle. Barber passes it and delivers another one back down the middle. No one on.
Good one-arm stab by Kelly Clays to dig that ball, and in transition, hard heat cross court. Nieto touches it but can't control it.
Nieto shut down by Kelly Clays. And that will do it as Clays and Hughes pushed in set number 1, answer back in set number 2. USC wins the duel 4-1.
But it wasn't easy at the pairs 1 spot. That's the spot where we usually see the walkover. Rachel Nieto and Nayla Barber really pushing Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes, and that's good in the big picture.
Stick around and watch the women of Troy take on the Cal State.
And that concludes this duel, but USC just has a little bit of time to rest. They are going to face Cal State Bakersfield next, so don't go far. Take a rest, get a drink, stretch maybe, but more beach volleyball coming up on Pac-12 Network. For now, though, USC, a win over Long Beach State. For Holly McPeak and our Pac-12 crew, I'm Marie Anderson saying take a quick break and come back and join us for Bakersfield shortly.